So I guess I've been pretty lucky, I think, with mentors over the years. So my PhD supervisor was both a good supervisor and I think a good mentor. And when I think about the different jobs that I've been in the different places I've worked in over the years, I think in every case the senior person that I've worked for has been a really good mentor, but they've all been quite different mentors. So I think one of the things that that comes out of good mentorship is the sort of characteristics of the individual that are a bit different from person to person. So, for example, when I worked at JPL, my boss at JPL was very different to my boss at Swinburne, and very different to my boss at CSIRO. So I think in the different relationships you pick up different aspects of how people work and you get different bits of advice, and over time you sort of build up a picture of how things work. So in that respect I think I've been really fortunate. A very vivid example that stays with me is through the MWA project. So quite a difficult project and facing some challenging times a few years ago. And one of the other board members who had a huge amount of experience in big projects, he and I sort of developed a mentorship relationship, which just sort of spontaneously occurred. I think because he could see me having some challenges that I had to face, and he'd been there and done that. And so we got to the point where, late at night I could just Skype him and bounce ideas around, and in confidence and feeling comfortable. So that really helped, and I think that was really a good example of how mentorship works. So sometimes it's a bit hard to know what your relationship is with someone. So you can have supervisor, you can have someone who gives you advice, or you provide advice to. But I think mentorship is something quite different to either of those two things. It's more like a personal relationship where the advice can range from the technical all the way through to the personal. And I find that it's not the sort of relationship that you can just say, right, the two of you will have a relationship. It really is something that comes about not quite by chance, but by circumstance and by shared interests perhaps, or shared experiences. So it really is, I think, quite an odd thing to define properly, that sort of relationship. But I've certainly benefited greatly from it over the years, and I guess that's the sort of style of mentorship that I try and bring when I'm talking with potential mentorees.